Hello and welcome to episode 39 of the CPRW podcast. My name is Colin. I do Colin's Punk Rock World, CPRW Records, and this podcast. Today, I'm doing something a bit different. I'm doing the podcast solo, which could be very interesting, could be very awkward, could be probably going to be quite cringy because I'm just going to talk to myself for however long this takes, and it's going to be really weird. I'm doing it by myself basically because life's been really, really busy lately. And I haven't had time to properly organize a group of people to do this podcast. So I'm flying solo and yeah, good luck to all of us. So the podcast is for Level Up Festival 2022, which is one of my favorite festivals of the year. I'm glad it's sort of finally back after that pandemic nonsense that was going on. So basically, if you don't know, Level Up Festival is a ska punk festival that happens at the New Cross Inn. This year it's the 22nd to the 24th of July. It's put together by our friends B Sharp Promotions, Fishlock Promotions, and our Topo bookings. So, like, I don't know if people have heard this story before, but the story goes, so in 2015, three sets of promoters met up in Bristol at a all-day ska thing, a Skankfest at the Fleece in Bristol, and basically had the idea of putting on their own like co-promoted festival at the New Cross Inn. And that first year, I believe, if memory serves correctly, was headlined by Big D and the Kids Table, King Prawn, and the Filaments. I might be wrong. I haven't researched properly, but yeah. And yeah, every year since, other than those pandemic years, it's been on. It's just been the highlight of the summer every year for me, and it's most sort of ska punk fans like will descend into South London, and it's just a lovely, lovely time. I've also had bands like Lightyear, Random Hand, Jay the Cat, Dave Hilliard and the Rock Steady Seven, the Toasters, plus a who's who of other UK ska punk bands have all sort of come and played the festival. Yeah, that's kind of a brief like synopsis of what Level Up Festival is. Like for me, it's such a nice event one because I'm a big ska punk kid, and it's just everyone from the scene just descends into New Cross, and it's great. Like it's a real like family reunion kind of thing. Everyone's there who, because like ska punk it's cool these days because of Jeff Rosenstock and the Interrupters and Bad Time Records, but like that before then it was kind of seen as a bit of a weird step brother to punk rock. Didn't get the respect it deserves, I don't think. And like, but like there was just this core group of people who still were very passionate on the genre, and so it was cool for all of those people to come together and celebrate something they all love. And the festival's grown and grown, and it's more. I think it's more popular than ever. We'll see in July, I guess, because there's been a 2-year break. But the ska seems to be on the rise, so it would make sense that the festival will grow as well. That seems to be how that kind of thing will work. Yeah, so that's kind of why I love the festival. It's just as the legend that is Sea Rage Craig Duran once said, it's ska punk Christmas, and that's perfect way of describing it. I think like yeah, it's just a lovely time. Yeah, so I'm gonna just run through the lineup next, I guess, and sort of talk about the bands who are playing. It's like, though we've been plugging it quite a lot on our other podcast, so yeah, but I'll go through each band, talk a bit about them best I can. I think I'm fairly familiar with most of the lineup, and yeah, I'll go through it and talk to you about some of the bands. And hopefully, if like this thing with this podcast or all festival podcasts, I can't, especially in the day and age that we are living in now, with people not having as much money as they should because of everything at the moment. It's kind of a miserable time, isn't it? So that's another reason I'm looking forward to Level Up, because it'll just make me happy. But yeah, but check out the bands even if you're not aware of them. It's like I know a lot of people in the ska punk world, or not so much the ska punk world, but like just they think of ska punk and they know bands like Less Than Jake and Real Big Fish and the Interrupters. But like I wrote a column about this last year, I think, sort of saying like this whole idea that ska is back and that it never went away, and these are the bands that kept the scene going. So check them out because they're awesome, and they will like you've got your big ska band, but these bands are just as good, if not better, and will blow you away because the talent is ridiculous. Right. So yeah, I'll start with Friday, and the band who are opening the whole weekend are probably the newest band on the whole lineup. They are Till I'm Bones. I'm gonna try my best not to mention their old band because I think it does them a disservice. Like, I mean, their old band were amazing, but it's unfair to just say, "Oh, they're this band," or the members are of this band, and I feel like I'm describing this really badly, but I'm not editing things out because yeah. But yeah, Till I'm Bones. So they're kind of a more uh like serious and sort of to an extent from what or the music they've released, it's a bit more moody than I'm already going to compare them to their old band, but their old band it's a bit more moody, bit then they're less I don't want to say less fun, but less silly, I guess is a better way of putting it. A more serious, more moody band. But like we got to see them play their very first show at with Treehouse Fire at the New Cross Inn, and like such a good live band already. And I think they've done 4 or 5 shows now, so they're not going to be opening shows for long. I don't think they're just incredible, incredible musicians. Jack's an incredible songwriter, and I'm really excited to see them again. Like, make sure you're there. I think doors are at 6 on the Friday. No, don't quote me. Check the websites or the Facebook events and whatever you have. Yeah, they're on first. They're going to be. That's such a fun way to open the thing. So yeah, Till I'm Bones. And next is Filthy Militia. Like Filthy Militia have released their second EP this year. If I was an organized person, I'd have the name of it to hand, but I am not, so bear with me. But I went to their EP launch in February, I want to say, and Coping Mechanism, that's what it was called. Yeah, the new EP Coping Mechanism, like it's really put them up another level, I think, as a band. They've added a couple of members, had a sort of lineup shift, added Eve and Tom from Leadshot Hazard. And yeah, so that EP is really like put Filthy Militia up another level. And I'm looking forward to seeing them live again. They're always a fun live band. Like, yeah, so I'm excited for what Filthy Militia have got in store because they're just getting better and better. Then I guess it's kind of a co-headline on the Friday. First is Call Me Malcolm, who are back at the New Cross Inn for their first time this year, definitely. But I think since October when they did Till the Fest, and because they've had a bit of a break for paternity reasons, like Lucius and his partner have just had a kid. So congratulations to them, but it's also very, very good to see them play live again. Because like Call Me Malcolm at New Cross Inn is one of those things that you just have to witness and experience. It's just I guess it's kind of like what people who are into God feel when they go to church. It's just a spiritual thing. Like it's a moving thing. It's just a wonderful time. And those guys are some of the nicest people in the whole like ska punk or punk rocks umbrella. And yeah, really looking forward to seeing them again. It's been far too long, but obviously it was for good reasons, so it's fine. And then the other, I guess, the main headliner, the other headliner, ska punk legends at this point. It's JB Conspiracy. Both bands are on a like basically a 2-week tour together around the festival. So check the socials. If you can't get down to London for Level Up, you'll be able to see them somewhere all over the country. I know they're playing Warrington. At the Warrington Ska Punk show with Chris, and that's got quite a stacked lineup. I forget who's on it, but you have Google. And then yeah, but so JV Conspiracy, like they just released their new album, their first new album, like 100 years it felt like, last year, which was called Beginnings. I think I should know these things, but it's really, really like JB Conspiracy. They're this band who I don't think there's a better like group of just technically gifted musicians in like the ska punk scene, especially in the UK. Like they're so tight. They bring such more interesting sort of sounds than your traditional ska punk that you might what you think about when you think ska punk. The horn lines are just ridiculous. It's just a really great keyboard line. They're just insane. Like I imagine you will have seen them at this point because they have been going forever, and they're an amazing band. So what a great way to start the night. If you've still got some energy left after that, we've got a bit of an after party DJ Jar Jar Binks sound system, which is L from Baldhead and the Dreads, doing some DJing. If you've still got some energy after all that, I guess playing some ska punk reggae tunes and just bringing great vibes. That's what the kids say, vibes. Yeah, so that's the Friday. That's if you just look for 4 bands and a DJ, and that's just amazing in itself. That's a yeah, if you just want to come to the Friday, it's only 13 quid as well for that lineup, which is just bonkers. But and then you got the Saturday, which I don't know set times yet, but I'm just going to go in the order of what they've written on the website or the event page. So first up, you got Fidget of Fidget and the Twitchers. They're probably the band on this lineup I know least about. Like, and this one is, I've listened to Fidget and the Twitchers, but I've not listened to just Fidget. I believe, from what I've been told, the whole band couldn't make the festival, so they've basically just decided to just have Fidget do an acoustic set. So that'd be quite interesting. From Fidget and the Twitchers, they're quite a newish band. They released an album this year. I just had a quick look at, and it's called where is it? I did just look at it. I'm not lying. It's called Full Steam Ahead, and it was released this year. And I was listening to a couple of songs, and the vocalist kind of reminded me of the vocalist from Against All Authority. If you know that band, you probably should if you're a ska punk fan, because they're amazing. I get to see them at Fest this year, so that's exciting. Yeah, the vocals reminded me of that. They're not quite as hard, sort of core ska core sounding as them, but like the lyrics are quite, the vocals are quite fast. There's a bit of like lots of different styles coming into it. They're really interesting. I'm so be interested to see them acoustic. I would also really like to see them full band at some point as well. If people can make that happen for me, that'd be lovely. And then next is After Fresh from doing a DJ set. L will be joining with the rest of his band for a Baldhead and the Dread set. And like when you talk about bands that have like improved and how far they've come in the time they've been together, Baldhead and the Dreads is just ridiculous. Like I spoke about them before, and I feel they started and they're sort of not as a joke as such, but like they didn't take it too seriously. It's just really fun loving. But and like if it's a bit shit, it's a bit shit. What are you expecting from us? Is that I got that kind of lot of feeling from them. But now they've sort of turned into such a good tight band, right? Really fun, catchy songs, and like lyrics, like James especially, his lyrics are great. Like they've got such a knack for a melody, and they're a lot of fun. Again, it's a home crowd for them as well. They were New Cross in sort of like their regulars. They were just people in the crowd who were mates, and then just decided to make a band together, which is just wholesome as fuck, really, isn't it? When you think about it. Yeah, so really looking. They're always a lot of fun to see, and it's been a while since I've seen them as well. So, because they're a band I feel like I used to see at least once every fortnight. So we're looking forward to catching up with them again, and then the next one. This is a biggie. It's Redeeman. Again, they're kind of a newish band. I don't know if they've played more than 20 gigs yet, but I feel like they're like Pook from Beat the Red Light and Pook Out Record, his newish band. They just released their like 5-track album / EP, whatever you want to call it, this year, and it's really, really like as the feat of musicianship goes. This is an album like when it's just really, really heavy metal thrash, then ska, and it's loads of melody as well and hooks. And it's just when you think of like things that shouldn't go together, but do, like that's redeeming in their sound. It's like they're just one of the best live bands to watch as well. I think I've seen them 3 or 4 times now, and just what a band. I'm really looking forward to see them play again, and they're definitely shake off any sort of Saturday early afternoon cobwebs you might have, and they're just they will slay. I think that's what you say in metal words, you slay. And then next is Pride Think Camp. They are a band from Belgium. So their singer Volker, I have seen play. Let's see, I've seen him play with Krandasic. I've seen them play with Koala Commission. I've seen them play just a solo set on their own, and I've seen them play in the El Topo All Star Band, who we'll talk about in a little while. So I've seen him play 4 times, 4 different sets. I've never seen him play in the same band more than once, which is kind of funny. And like Volker, just he's got this amazing voice, this amazing songwriter again. Like that's the thing I'm going to say a lot, I guess, amazing songwriters. But yeah, so Pride Think Camp is his newest band with yeah, I think they started, it wasn't that long before like lockdown happened. I don't think they got to play till after lockdown. I might be wrong, so correct me in the comments because algorithm. Yeah, so they're kind of like keyboard led ska punk. There's like guitarist, drums, and a keyboard player. So that's just a completely different kind of thing as well. So they just released a new album this year as well called Unity Sausage, which is a lot of fun, really good album. So I think they're going to surprise a lot of people because they'll be one of the bands I assume most people won't know too much about. But yeah, and it's just always nice to see Volker as well. Lovely human being. So yeah, then next up are Manchester ska legends, Harajan. Like they're going to be an interesting one, I think, because I've only ever seen them play in Manchester, and they released their debut album after being together for God knows how long last year, and it's just so well received by everyone. And yeah, so I got to see them play some of that at Manchester Punk Festival at the pre-show, but that was an interesting one because it was a very mixed bill. Where this is a ska punk bill, so I wonder what the crowd. I feel like the crowd at MPF wasn't unreceptive, but I feel like seeing them play it at a ska punk show will take that whole thing to another level. And they got the one of the most unique sounds. It's live. That again, it's watching them's like an experience as well, which I think is very important when you think about music and seeing bands live. I think it should feel like an experience and just be like, okay, I'm here now as a band. Cool. You should feel something. Yeah, so that's Harajan. Then next, coming all the way from Brazil and returning to Level Up Festival for the second time, is Abracadabra, and they played at the last Level Up Festival in 2019, and like one of the biggest surprises of the whole festival, I think, for a lot of people. And they kind of do this ska. It's a more like when you think about ska punk, it's got more of that Less Than Jake third wave pop punk with horns kind of sound, Abracadabra. But just so good, so much energy, loads of fun. Like I think they've got multiple vocalists as well, and it's all just goes off really. And they just released an album last year on Bad Time Record as well, which is like the ska punk label at the moment. Pukao Record did the distro for it. It's called Make Yourself at Home. Fantastic album. So looking forward to seeing some of that live, plus some of the older stuff as well. And they're doing a huge tour of like England and Europe over the next month. I know they're doing Rebellion Festival as well, yeah, in August, and just I believe they're playing Milton Keynes. If you're in that area of the world and you want to go to MK11 to see Abracadabra, you can. Don't ask me the date though. And then what you got? I guess it's kind of a double headliner again. I'm going to say all 3 days have a double headliner. So next on this list is Andy B in the World. Like I've spoken in great length, I think, about what and just Andy B in the world. Like this Andy Baker of like formerly of Fandangle and loads of other bands. I think he's most well known for Fandangle. He's set out on a quest as to put together an album with just hundreds of different musicians from all over the world, from all sort of areas of the punk umbrella. And it's called The First One. It came out last year, and it was just a phenomenal achievement, just as a thing, just to put it all together, and how good it was, how well it all sounded, how well it like linked together, despite having so many different musicians. I think there's like 130 different people on there, and blew my mind. And they did an album launch show for it at New Cross last year, and it was just one of my highlights of the whole year. So I'm glad to see them back. I guess he'll have a bit of a shorter set this time. I don't know what they'll do for the. I know he's got his own like set band who play the songs, but you'd like to think that the amount of people like, from the musicians are going to be at the weekend, that they will have some guests come on and do all that kind of thing. So I'm really looking forward to seeing them again. They're a band that aren't really going to play that much because they're based all over the country, and Andy's now deep into working on the second Andy B in the World album as well. So he's going to be really tied up with that. Like again, like just as a thing he's trying to do just blows my mind. Like what an incredible man. Yeah, and then the final band for Saturday, or final like headlinery band, the Popes of Chillitown, like London's Popes of Chillitown. Like they've over the last few years like really stepped up. I can remember it's one of my first ever conversations with Paul from B Sharp Promotions. We were talking about this was just before Random Hand, maybe just after Random Hand like had their break, and we were talking about bands that were gonna take their like mantle as the UK ska punk sort of band. And he said the Popes of Chillitown. And boy, was he right. Hope he doesn't listen to me. This is a podcast and hear me say that, but they've just gone to a whole nother level. Like they're always playing shows, always. I've seen them so many times now, and they always deliver. There's full energy all the time. At New Cross Inn, they are now loved. And I mean, they've always been loved, but it's like they're a new level of love now. And like seeing them, it's just, again, just one of those things you have to be there to really like appreciate just how good it is. Like the crowd go absolutely bonkers for it. And I know they've been working on some new material. Hopefully they'll play some of that at the gig as well as like the old favorites. And yeah, like Saturday night, Popes of Chillitown, that's just going to be one hell of a party. So yeah, they're kind of concluding the day, but they do have the after party, which is the El Topo All-Star Band, which is a group from Belgium who I think they all play shows for El Topo bookings over the years, and they've sort of a group of people who've kind of like a super group come together to play cover songs, and they played 2019 Level Up and went down so well. And I think I'm really looking forward to see them again if they've added some new songs to their set list, or it's going to play. Actually, you'd assume they would. Yeah, just so much fun. Like the covers like really really well reworked. If that makes sense. So if you've got the energy and you don't have to get a train, hang around for the El Topo All-Star Band because it's just going to be a lot of fun. And then, yeah, so we're moving on for the Saturday. That is just £16 for all of that on Saturday, which is an absolute steal. If you so yeah, final day, Sunday. This is a biggie. This is mad. Looking at this day. So you got openers, Boom Boom Raccoon, who are from Bristol, but they very much feel like a New Cross band. They play quite regularly. They're like got a lot of friends. They're loved by the band. They're like the acoustic ska punk sound, very sort of scrappy and just really. Again, they're a band like I can remember the first time I seen them to the last time I seen them. Just how far they've come along, and like how the songwriting improved, how the stage presence has improved. It's just they get so much love, and it's so well deserved because like they're just perfect messages in their songwriting, great all round band. And I'm pleased to see that they're getting quite a bit they seem to get love everywhere. They did like a gorilla set at MPF this year, just in a park, and got a really nice sized crowd of like 12 o'clock on the Sunday afternoon or something. Silly, yeah. But I saw them at Fishlock in March as well, and that's the best I've ever seen them. Like every time I see them, they get better and better. So that's going to be a fun way to start the Sunday. It's a fun way to start the Sunday. What's the song? Yeah. So next is Plot 32 from Leeds, who one of my favorite bands this year. Absolutely love them. Got to do an interview with them for the MPF program, and just the loveliest bunch of people, and just really, really good band. Like they did a Zombie Shack set at MPF, and there was no one else playing, and the room was absolutely packed. We were lucky enough to get in because we left Roughneck Riot very early to make sure we did, and it was just like everyone, I felt like all the ska punk kids from all over left whoever they were seeing early to make sure they got in. So the Zombie Shack was just packed full, and it was just insane, but in the best possible way. Like it was rammed, it was a bit rambunctious, everyone was bumping into each other, but it was all just really good. It's really good atmosphere, and everyone was just having the best time. And I'm excited to see them come back or come down to New Cross. I think they have been before, but I've never seen them at New Cross before. But I feel like they're going to get so much love from the crowd, and I can't wait to see them. Yeah, Plot 32, they like I say, one of my favorite sort of ska bands at the moment, so that's going to be fun. Then you've got Leadshot Hazard, who must be going on for nearly 10 years as a band now in some form. They've had sort of lineup changes over the years, but this feels like they've got a nice settled lineup now, and they're not a band I don't feel like I give enough time to just when I'm listening to bands at home, but whenever I see them live, they're always so good. Like they've got 3-part sort of brass section who just a lot of fun to watch. They'll get in the crowd, have a dance, have some like little routines, and just songwriting's really good, and just a really, really tight band who they have been going for a long time now. And just again, I just feel like get better every time I see them. So that's cool. Then from next is Last Edition from Leicester. I'm sure most people have probably heard what happened last time they came down for a Level Up festival when they broke the New Cross in because it got really hot during their set, and Electric didn't seem to like that. But yeah, they're sort of more on the sort of pop punk side of ska punk, and really, really lots of fun. Another band who's going like 10 plus years, and always really good live, like good at getting the crowd involved, and just really catchy, fun songs. They're not a band who are like the most serious band in the world, but not every band needs to be the most serious band in the world because music is also fun. And Last Edition even are a lot of fun. So it's cool to see them come down again. Hopefully there's an electrician in the building. We're all probably going to make that joke at some point on the Sunday, I'm sure. Then you've got Legends, 3DBS down. One day we'll learn how to say their name properly. I think I've been told, I always forget, but yeah, they're like they've been together forever. Like they're probably a big reason why a lot of the bands on this lineup are a band. So they do this. They're not like just traditional ska punk band. I'd say they have ska influence, but they also have like pop punk and just punk rock and skate punk, sort of all sort of mixed together to make what 3DBS Downs do, of what their sound is like. And yeah, like in 2020, I think they released my favorite album of the year, the Get Your Retaliation First. Just 16 brilliant songs, all packed with like hooks, harmonies, and gang vocals. And yeah, just again, they don't play that often, so any chance you get to see them, I think it's important to take it because they're that good a band. I can't wait to see them do Level Up Festival. I think that's going to go down a treat. And yeah, 3 Deep down. Then you got Codename Colin, who again, just a band that keep getting better and better. Just they're like fun pop punk ska band. You got they're like your more again like your more traditional, your less than Jake's your real big fish. They've got that part of it, but they've also just got really good songwriting again. Like Charlie is an incredible front person. Always they get a really enthusiastic crowd all the time. They're known to knock out a cover here or there, which is always just loads of fun. We love Codename Colin, and again, I can't wait to see them. And then you've got your double headliner again, and my God, how they've pulled this off is beyond me. Like, so in like the early 2000s, like two of the bands that were coming up uh, were like really influential to a lot of bands that are playing today and kept the scene going in the UK when like it seemed to die off a bit elsewhere around the world. So you've got Sonic Boom 6 and Random Hand like co-headlining the Sunday of Level Up Festival. That's absolutely bonkers. Like I'd heard beforehand that they had Random Hand and Sonic Boom 6 for Level Up. I did not in any way expect them to be on the same day. So yeah, I mean, I'm assuming everyone listening to this does know who both these bands are. I don't really have to talk too much about them, but I will a little bit because just in case, I shouldn't presume. So Sonic Boom 6 are from the Manchester area. I think they are working on a new album at the moment, so I assume after that they'll get out and play a few more shows more regularly. But yeah, they haven't played many shows over the last few years, and just always a really good, fun live band. Like they're very good at tailoring their set from their different sort of because they're a band who have sort of mixed genres quite a lot in their music, keeps it interesting. I think people do appreciate, but they're very good at also tailoring their set for the crowd they're playing to. So yeah, and just like Barney and Layla as a twosome are incredible, like the energy they bring and the passion they have, like and for Layla as well, like to be a woman of like Asian descent in a scene that is predominantly white man and to have the success that they have, like that's not spoken about enough, I don't think, like just for what they've achieved in that sense. Like so that's just when you talk about legendary UK bands, you've got to throw Sonic Boom 6 in that category, and it's be really fun to see them again after their set at Till the Fest last year, which was a lot of fun. And then yeah, Random Hand, bloody Random Hand. They've headlined Level Up before, and again, you probably heard the story of the so Level New Cross Inn has a bar downstairs called Stops Bar, and when they played that Level Up, you could see the beams across the ceiling of the basement bar just moving, vibrating with the band, all the people jump in, and this is what the kind of carnage that they bring to the New Cross Inn, just playing the ska chord. Just again, another band have been working on new songs, so maybe they'll play some new stuff, which should be really fun. I saw them in I would say January, maybe February, January at Islington, and they played an album in full. And I'm so bad at remembering the names of things. It's the White Album. It's called. It's got. No. Did they play Seething is Believing? Yeah, I think they played Steve. I can't. I should know this. I was there. Yeah. See. Yeah, they must have done. Yeah, Seething is Believing. They played in full. Yeah, I remember the artwork. It was definitely was Seething is Believing. I was there. I wrote about it. It was a great time. And they played the album in full and smashed it. So, but it'll be nice to go hear them play like a career set now, just work with like stuff from all the albums again because it's been a while. And yeah, so Random Hand, yeah, one of the best live bands I've ever seen. Always bring it live every time. Not just, and they're funny as well. It's like so when they have a break and do the old talking banter nonsense, they're like it's actually entertaining, which not many bands pull off as well as they do. So cannot wait to see them. I miss them at show MPF as well. Oh, I've been talking for myself for way too long now. I'm running out of words I know. Yeah, I saw them at MPF. No, I didn't see them at MPF. They clashed with someone. So it's been. I think I didn't pick them because I had seen them in January and knew I was seeing them at Level Up. So yeah, it will be good to see Random Hand again. Just one of the best bands in that UK ska punk ever. So that's the Level Up festival lineup. There's no after party on the Sunday because that would be crazy. After all that, after that weekend, if people are still standing at Random Hand, they deserve a medal. But yeah, for the Sunday, that's just a £20. But also, if you want to go for the whole weekend, it's only £40 for all of that. I forget how many bands are there. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So that's only just over £2 a band. And you get to hang out with all the ska punk kids from the UK and Belgium, and I'm sure hopefully some other places as well. Yeah, so that's happening at New Cross Inn at the 22nd or 24th of July. I'm assuming there are still some tickets left, but if you do want to go, this has piqued your interest, go get some now before they do sell out, because I'm sure as closer it gets, the more people will want to go. And yeah, I say ska punk at New Cross Inn is just a wonderful, wonderful time always. I haven't really thought about how I end this after talking about all the bands. I think I've spoken about everything I need to talk about. Yeah, I'm going to put a playlist in the comment section of all the bands playing. So even if you can't come, check out the bands because they're awesome. They're hopefully they'll come and play somewhere near you soon. Yeah, thanks very much for listening. Thanks for all. Hopefully you've been enjoying all the festival content we've been putting out this sort of last few months, because that's kind of taking over life at the moment. We've done a lot of festivals and it's really, really cool to be back doing it. I've done all the Booze Crew stuff. I love that stuff, but I'm so excited and I'll go see some ska because ska punk is my first love. So yeah, thanks for listening, watching. Hopefully this hasn't been really awkward and weird and just me talking for however long I've been talking now. Yeah, thanks. Like, share, subscribe, comment, retweet, tell your friends, messenger pigeon maybe if that's a thing. Yeah, cheers, bye.